The adventurers stood there for a second, trying to determine what had just happened. After discussing the situation with one another, they all agreed, getting supplies and maybe a good night of sleep would be the best thing to do. Looking out at the city from where they stood, the adventurers couldn't believe the sights that they were seeing. The city stretched high into the air, and a beautiful palace sat on the highest terrace peak that was edged out on the summit of the large foothill. It had towers that ran along its walls that peaked into pointed teardrop shapes that were upside down. The adventurers all came from the north, near Unther, so they had never seen such sights. Brass, gold, silver, and beautiful hued stone made up the architecture of this fine palace. You could see the reflections of its fine metals as the sun bounced off of their surfaces. It was too hard to say, because of the distance from the city, but it also looked as if there were beautiful blue, red, and yellow gems of immense size embedded into the sides of the palace, towers, and walls that surrounded it. After finally walking back into Lushpool, the adventurers approach a merchant selling his goods from a wagon on the side of the street. "Good day," the salesman pronounces. "What will you be needing today?" He was a skinny little human. You could see that he hadn't much to eat, and his clothes weren't the best. He probably sold his goods in order to merely survive. He stood there, though, with a smile on his face, ready to serve anyone who wished to buy. "Do you have weapons and armor?" one of the adventurers asked. "No," the merchant replied. "You're new to this area, aren't you?" "Never mind, forget I asked. See, I am not allowed to sell such things in Lapalia. This land is ruled by the Overking, and satraps, most definitely, but we also have the merchant guilds. For items of that nature, or any items of craft, you must deal with the guilds. If I was to try to sell such things, I would surely be put to death." "Oh," the adventurer replied. A little shocked by what he had heard, and feeling a little guilty, he asked, "What do you have for sale then?" "I have rations for the traveler, pots and pans, herbs, spices, clothes, fabrics, whatever you need that isn't a part of the crafts. Look around on my wagon, and if you like something let me know."